What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How It's Done. So today we got our first chip on our windshield. Kind of sucks. This is our first time actually attempting to repair a star chip. You can see it's got that kind of star pattern to it. It's got the cracks already radiating from where the chip happened. Let me go inside and show you what it looks like from inside. There's actually a lot of different types of chips that you could get, from crater to horseshoe, a bunch of different things like that. Most of them are not going to have these little lines coming out of them. This is called a star chip, and these are, from my understanding, a lot more difficult to repair because any little bump on the road is going to cause these to break out further, and it's going to get larger than one of these repair kits is going to allow you to do. So we're going to attempt to repair this before it craters out. Every time that I've gotten one of these in the past, it's always shot out further before I've been able to get home to get this fixed, or been able to go and get a kit to fix this. Come on, focus. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this taken care of, and then see how long this works to prevent the crack from spreading. That's the whole purpose of doing this, is preventing the cracks from spreading out further and damaging your windshield. Most of the time, you're still going to see a little bit of the chip. I have had a few of the horseshoe chips cracks that I've been able to fix, and they are not really visible unless you know exactly where to look. But we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of today on How It's Done. So I'm going to be using this Permatex Windshield Repair Kit. Comes with the syringe, the resin, alcohol wipe, razor, adhesive pad, the applicator, and then a clear piece of plastic. Also got instructions in a thumbtack. So first thing you're going to do is use your thumbtack to get any little bits of broken glass out of there that you can. There really isn't a lot in here for me to get out, and I don't want to put too much pressure on the windshield because I don't want it to scratch, I'm sorry, not scratch, crack further across. Apparently I can't work and talk at the same time. But I am getting some of the just powdery looking stuff out of there. Let's see if we can focus there. See, there was oftentimes going to be a little bit of glass, like almost powder in there, and you'll try and get that stuff out. And then that's pretty much it. That's about all I can get. On windshields, there are several different layers of glass. You might be able to see that these are actually a couple different layers that are broken here. Alright, so now we're going to take the alcohol pad and just wipe down the area really good. Get it nice and clean. That'll also help. You can kind of see it removed a lot of the glass dust that was on there. Let that dry for just a second. It should dry pretty quickly in the sun. And then once that's done drying, we're going to go ahead and stick this adhesive pad on there with the tab up. So we've got this in place. We've got the little point of impact, or the little divot, whatever you want to call it, the point of entry. That's in the center of this. There are two different sides. I typically put the paper side toward the windshield and leave the red side out. So we're going to go ahead and peel this off. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt sometimes. Come on. There we go. That might work easier. Cool. And we'll take this guy and line it up centered on that, and then get it on there. Really good. Alright, so next you're going to want to cut the cap off the UV resin, and then you're going to put that down in there and just squeeze the resin into it. Making sure it goes in there. You want to make sure that when you're doing this, you're clear of any painted surfaces, because it is going to cure in sunlight, and yeah, you don't want it to get on any paint, because it will over time cure and become an issue. That's full of resin. What we're going to do is take this guy right here and put it in there. Yes, I overfilled it. I do that. We're going to want to make sure that the plunger is all the way down when we're doing this, and then we will pull it up, and it is going to have some pressure on it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do this with one hand. Yeah, I'm going to have to do this off film. But you're going to pull it up so that it's locked in the lowest position. Alright, there you go. It's locked in the lowest position. When I first did this, there were a few little bubbles that, like tiny bubbles that came up in the middle here. We go inside the truck and see, sometimes you can see little bubbles forming from inside. What this is doing is this is creating a vacuum inside here, pulling all the air that might be in that crack out so that all the resin can then get pushed right back in down into those cracks. Yeah, you really can't see anything bubbling up from the inside here. But you want to leave this sit for a good 10 minutes at least. Right, it's 10 minutes later, and now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this from the pedestal, this syringe, so we'll just twist it a little bit to get it to come off, and then that's done. Now we'll place that back on, and now what we're going to do is press this pedestal down, so we'll twist it a little bit so that we can press it down. And then we'll get it to lock into this uppermost position. And what that's going to do is force the resin into the cracks. So we're going to leave it like this for 10 minutes now. And I'm sorry, we'll leave it like this for 20 minutes. And then we'll come back and do the rest. And it's done. So now we're going to go ahead and remove this syringe. And then we're going to go ahead and peel this up. You might need to use a safety razor. It might release itself back off. But we'll pull that up. Pull this off. Alright, so now we're going to put a couple drops of the resin on here, just where the cracks are, to seal it really good. And then we're going to take this curing strip that they give us, we're going to place this right over that. Let that set. I'm going to leave that be for a while, about 20 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes, depending upon your sunlight. This will allow it to harden. We do have a little bit of resin running off, so I'm going to go ahead and clean that before it gets all over the windshield and the windshield wipers and messes that up. So I'm going to clean that up with just a paper towel and some rubbing alcohol, and we'll let this cure and we'll see how good this worked. And now we pull this piece off, since it's been sitting here for about 20 minutes. And you can see that the resin is cured. So we'll just take our razor and clean off a little bit to make this flat as best we can. And like I said, while you can still see it if you know where to look, it's a lot less visible. And hopefully, am I even shining it at the right spot? Come on, camera. Come on.
Where is it? It's right there, yeah. Oh. Okay, the camera can't even detect it, so I'm going to say that that's a good sign. Yeah, that was successful. So, over the period of time, hopefully that means this does not continue to spider out. But, yeah, if you want to buy one of these, I'll include a link in the description. And when I do the truck update in another 2 months or so, we'll let you know how this is doing, whether or not it's spread or if we've had any other issues.